Evidence of the Doomsday device 2.0 being in our Fortnite game right now is visible on the map, through quests and character dialogue as well. Some may assume that information like this answers many questions in the storyline that we've had about the specific seasons and live event of the Doomsday device 2.0. And whilst it most definitely does partially serve that purpose in a way, it also opens up many questions as to what the truth of this really is. What does Midas have to do with it? What does Paradigm have to do with it? What does Season 7's and 8's Elemental Society of Kings have to do with this? Yes, that's right, they're most definitely involved. Especially Zero. I mean, I've always had a sneaking suspicion about this guy, ever since he came into the shop. He's a 0 point as a man. I mean, he has to be an elemental. The exact same colour scheme and surrounding effects on this elemental tech of the upcoming Doomsday device has remnants around the edges of the golden streams, that may even be possibly green and red splotches in colour. Now, this was found by Sans the Reaper, who is one of the theorists on my main Discord server, and also a separate theorist chat. If you want a chance to work on videos with me just like my fellow theorists, make sure to join the Discord server in the social tab of the description below. It's awesome, it's pretty fun, and it's honestly kind of dead right now. So if you could help us get to 100 members by 2023, that would be awesome. It's just a couple clicks, that's all you gotta do. You are gonna do that, right? Alright, let's break that awkwardness and go back to Zero. It seems as if the colour frequencies on this sudden energy are exactly the same as the ones on the Zero outfit. And with Zero being a colour elemental... Wait, what the f... If you're not exactly constant or kept up with elemental theory, the powers of this concept are light, dark, the core, or Zero, or fire and ice are the other ones. So yeah, light, dark, Zero, fire and ice. Pretty simple, balanced elements. You know, these dudes, you know what I'm talking about. They're the gods of the table from Chapter 1, Season 7. And if you haven't been playing that long, or if it's confusing to you in any way at all, that is completely okay. It was confusing to me originally until I sort of came up with an answer to it. But I have an entire playlist about those characters alone. You know why? Because I love them. So if you feel the need at any point in uncovering the game's lore, just check out some playlists for extra information. And it's honestly quite handy to know. Now, back to the energy. In the main visual representation of this, we see a big part of it being this yellowy element, right? This golden yellowy element. And it actually makes the whole idea kind of unanswered and a lot more complex. Now, as we know, the elements have many different ways of being physically or, figuratively represented. And we know that the last device used Oro's Staff of the Light element to retaliate directly against the storm, which is again the light versus dark contrast. So, this yellow colouring should technically be representing the light, right? Well, yes, it usually could be, light, usually you can just assume that, but it could also be the sideways energy of the last reality and the Cube Queen herself. If you're not familiar with all of that, the energy of fire and cube were mixed by the Cube Queen in the end event, as we can see her main sideways fracture of reality includes both fire and darkness. Now, what I find very interesting about this whole idea and concept is actually just a certain section of lyrical vocabulary portrayed through the Origins character anthem. Take a quick listen to all of that.
My man was cornered, there was no way out, so we found another angle, one they wouldn't doubt. He tricked the eye, oh they said he sold out, but he was just plotting while looking about. He burned them fast, then he made his escape, found his own way and then his plans.
Okay, so you can hear that it says, the Origin was cornered, there was no way out, so he found another angle, one that they wouldn't doubt. He tricked the Imagined Order, they said that he sold out, but he was just plotting while looking about. He burned them fast and then he made his escape. Now what I find especially interesting here is that the Origin clearly has both corruptive and burning fire elements here. And the IO aren't quite aware of that. It mentioned how he thought of a way he could attack with something they wouldn't suspect about him, or a particular angle of characteristics that they wouldn't doubt. As it says in the song, it mentions how, upon using the burning sensation of fire against them, he could quickly escape, clearly showing that Io didn't predict Origin to have picked up other elements along his journey as an elemental king of the cubes. Now, another thing to note here is Origin's loading screen. It shows his Cube King style with purple skin, but his skin has now faded to a soft blue. The IO clearly drained his power within the prison, meaning they now have fire and darkness from the sideways energy of him, and also Zero, because they manipulate 0 point all the time, and now that gives them the 3 elements and also a huge potential to recreate something very dangerous, known as the Spire's Eternal Flame. I hate to mention this season, but in Chapter 2, Season 6, the Spire was known as a mix of Zero, corruption, and fire. The corruption which trapped it in its sort of sealment, the 0 point in the center of it all, and the fire which is what we can see in its formation during the final of the Zero Crisis finale event. Now, what I find very interesting here is how on Sloane's main panel in the new Order character's loading screen, whatever she's working on building whatsoever is actually represented as a large tower. Now, many assumed that, maybe they're making a Doomsday Device 2.0 very similar to the main towers or side towers of the original Midas Doomsday Device. But I have another theory. If they have all the elements to create a tower that could stuff the Seven over like last time, as they messed up the Foundation, they wiped his memory, they messed up Jones, everything. If they have now the potential to create something as similar to the Spire, and they're now in a war with the exact same group of the Seven, there's really nothing stopping them from just repeating the process and breaking reality once more with corruption and, abusing the 0 point. Now, I'm not saying that the Spire could return, and I definitely don't want any
Sleep.
But a tower upholding the 0 point seems to be the more plausible cause in this example. The Doomsday Device is being constructed beneath Loot Lake, and what else is beneath that location? The 0 point itself. This theory just shows how abusive and manipulative the imagined Order truly are, and yeah, we already know that from how mean Sloane has been to us in the past. I mean, come on man, we did nothing wrong! In Chapter 2, Season 2, so much damage was done with just a mere relative element to Nexus, and now the core of the entire existence of the Omniverse is being put into that same position of threatening everyone. Do we even stand a chance? I mean, if Paradigm can come in clutch for us all, that'd be awesome, and then I'd have some confidence. But it's kind of weird how she was the first to know about a top secret IO plan. I mean, she's a very confusing character. Is she even liking us anymore? If you want some clarity on the whole Paradigm IO Singularity situation, click right here on this video to be more detailed in your knowledge about the current, past, and future Fortnite storyline.